and think on just how far I come, and I can breathe. Every door is not for me. That's the truth. But when I say,
hey guys, thanks for joining.
know just what I'll do.
One of my favorite songs playing today. Let me turn this around.
While I'm sitting, I'll be right. Reality is happening.
Hey, thanks for joining. Strands of Integrity.
Not just chilling, but I'm willing.
Hey guys, I am listening to one of my favorite songs today.
And I don't mind waiting.
Hey, thanks for inviting followers.
Time is standing still in my
Just kind of letting everybody join in.
life is
I am doing well. I hope you are. Thank you for the hearts. I'm just going to let this play just a second or two while people are joining the room.
Question is not when, the question is which one. And so I'll sit and think on.
This song is called Doors.
And I can breathe.
Let's turn this down. Hey guys, how are you today? I went to a charity event over the weekend, and this artist, Shanette Swain Johnson, was performing, and so I fell in love with her music, and the song I was listening to was called Doors. So if you all get a chance, look that up. She's a really great artist, and she speaks with purpose. She sings with purpose. I think she's also a spoken word artist. But today we're talking about you're doing well, catching up on well-needed rest. Oh, goodness, I'm so glad you said that, because that's one of the things that we'll talk about today. That's one of the things that is on the list to talk about. We're talking about 9 reasons why leaders win and how you can. 9 reasons why leaders win and how you can. I had become kind of fascinated with eagles for whatever reason, so I did a little research on them, and I wrote a blog post on the comparison of leaders and eagles. And so I thought, I wrote it probably about 3 or 4 months ago, but I thought I would share it with you guys. Let me introduce myself and say hello to all of my replay viewers. My name is Tanya Wilson Cherry. I am a business consultant. I connect people to passion, purpose, and prosperity. I believe your mind has a lot to do with your money. I help entrepreneurs get to their next level, get unstuck, save time and money while they create the lifestyle they desire. And on today, hi, thanks for joining. Dating 101, back to basics. Thanks for joining. We're talking about 9 reasons leaders win and how you can. Thanks for the hearts. First of all, when I did the comparison of eagles and leaders, it said eagles had keen vision. Leaders are known for developing a keen sense of vision. They're able to look at things from a long-term perspective. One of the ways that we fail in business is only looking at what we're doing now. So leaders have long-term perspective. They make decisions today based on their tomorrow, because every thought that you've had today, every action that you've taken is a clear example of your future. So leaders have a keen sense of vision. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining. Leaders have a keen sense of vision. This is number 2. When times are difficult or adversity arises, leaders don't run from difficulty. One of the things that holds us back in our pursuit for our destiny to change our life is not handling some of the hard things. Get some of that hard stuff out of the way, not handling some of the hard things. One of the things that leaders know about adversity is there's usually opportunity somewhere in the midst of the adversity. There's usually opportunity somewhere in the midst of the adversity. Number 3, leaders are often more quick to move on from dead situations, knowing that they cannot receive life from dead situations. Now, this is not to get into anyone's personal life, but sometimes, Hair by Claudia, hi, thanks for joining. Sometimes we stay in toxic situations way too long. I was watching a Periscope by Dr. Matthew Stevenson, who talked about exhaustion. And I was surprised when he mentioned exhaustion from toxic people. Find your voice. Hi, Altavis, Scope School. Thanks for joining, dear. Dr. Matthew Stevenson talked about how exhaustion can actually cause you to fail in your pursuit. So toxic situations, we have to remove ourselves from toxic situations and toxic people. And leaders know and understand how important it is to move on from dead situations. Now, the other thing about leaders, hi everyone, thanks for joining. Hey, thanks for joining. The other thing about leaders, although they know how to move on from toxic situations quickly, they also have the ability to see the possibility of life in situations. Yes, you have to move on from toxic people. Look, when you're around toxic people, it's draining, it's exhausting. You don't have the motivation or the mindset that you need in order to move to the next level. So leaders have the ability to move on from dead situations quickly. And as I was saying, they also see life in situations that some people don't see life in, and they know that their abilities will allow them to revive the situation. But it takes a keen sense of discernment to know when to go and when to stay. So leaders move on from dead situations quickly. I think this is number 4. Great leaders usually acquire the ability to reach monumental stages in life and levels only observed by the average individual. Only observed by the average individual. And one of the reasons that leaders are able to move to high heights in life that only average or mediocre individuals will only look at is because they have a keen sense of vision, which was the first thing that I mentioned for leaders and why they win. The 5th thing, I believe we're on number 5. Great leaders break all tasks down into smaller goals. Great leaders break all tasks down into smaller goals. I was talking to my daughter the other night, and she was doing her homework. I believe she had 29 vocabulary words that she had to do about 4 different directions to, like a sentence, a synonym, a picture. And she said, oh my gosh, it's so many words. And before I could get it out my mouth, she said, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break them down. Excellent. That's what leaders do. They break the task down. Many of us are looking at the things that we have to do from this huge scale, and in our mind, it's unobtainable. So leaders break things down into small tasks and goals. Leaders break things down into small tasks or goals. If you are commenting and it's a question and I don't catch it, I promise you I will when we end the 9 reasons that leaders move ahead or they win. Number 6, great leaders take time to become efficient in their craft, knowledge, skill, and ability. Great leaders take the time to become efficient in their craft, knowledge, and ability. Oftentimes when we're very gifted in a particular, Danielle, thank you. Hey guys, this is my coach, Danielle, who just joined. I cannot tell you all how my skill set has gone to another level being connected to her. It's so important, and that's one of the things that I'll talk about in the 9 things, yeah, hey girl, that leaders do. Great leaders take the time to become efficient in their craft. Many of us are skilled, but we won't go to the next level. We won't take it to the next level. There's always room for growth, and leaders know that. So that's the 6th thing that leaders do who win. And those are some of the things that you'll need to do as well. The 7th thing that great leaders do, yes, indeed, always, absolutely. The 7th thing that great leaders do, they are aware of the need to rest and rejuvenate. They are aware of the need to rest and rejuvenate. They pace themselves. They listen to their body. They take ample rest, vacations, and plan outlets to rejuvenate themselves. Many of us will just go so hard and crash and burn. But leaders are usually really good with time management, which is one of the tasks that I wanted to talk about with the 9 leaders. Dating, but hey love, one of the tasks I wanted to talk about with the 9 leaders, they know when to rest. Actually, Danielle did a scope recently, one of her morning scopes, about the importance of rest and what are you resting in. And in her scope, she talked about resting in God. I also watched Dr. Matthew Stevenson again, who was talking about the Holy Spirit telling him about rest. It's so important. You can't go off empty. When you make decisions where you're exhausted or tired, you tend to make mistakes. So great leaders know the importance of rest. They understand the importance of rest. I believe we're on the 7th thing that great leaders do. The great leaders know what they take in is an intricate part to their success. Now, when you think of taking things in, you can think about your health, or you can think about what you're listening to. You can think about your health, or you can think about what you're listening to. What you are listening to matters. They say that you're an average of the 5 people you're spending the most time with, and that's simply because what you're hearing. Faith comes by hearing. So what we're hearing on a consistent basis is what we take in. Hey, dear, how are you? Is that Letitia? Letitia, yes. So what they take in, they understand. You had to cut some people off. Everybody just can't go with you. Everyone cannot go with you to the next level. They can't go with you to the next level. So what they understand that what they take in is important, even the food that they eat. I've been studying wealthy people for very consistently for about the last 4 to 5 years. And there are just some similar things that they all do. And when they reach a certain point, they recognize how important it is for them to eat properly and to exercise what they're taking in. So they were not meant to come to the next level with you. Absolutely. And, it's not, I think some people take that statement kind of hard as if we're cutting people off, but some people just aren't ready. And your relationships are vehicles that are designed to take you to the next level. Your relationships are vehicles that are designed to take you to the next level. And imagine you're trying to drag people along. You can't do it. You just can't drag people along. So some people aren't ready. Doesn't mean that they won't ever be, but in this season, they aren't ready. And leaders know that what they take in, whether it's the food they eat or what they're listening to, is important. Two more things that great leaders do. They seek to understand. They seek to understand. Many of us take on tasks and have absolutely no idea why we need the task or why we're doing it. Find out why. Find out why. I was talking to my mentor in the salon industry. Her name is Carolyn Marshall Covington, who is now blind. She had about 1,500 staff members over her 40 years of being in the beauty industry, and she is still going hard. So I feel like, one, there's no excuse. But I was talking to her about some of the things I did in my salon that were very successful, and some of them I didn't continue doing because I didn't understand the dynamics of it. For instance, I had a website with a mailing list for years. I didn't realize how instrumental that was to causing my business to grow. So seek to understand. Once you understand why you're doing something, you're more apt to make it happen. More apt to make it happen. And the last thing that leaders do to win that you can do is manage their time. Manage their time. It's established by understanding. And when I look at this generation or culturally, different cultures, I think sometimes we just do stuff because it looks good. But we have to understand why it works. And oftentimes when things aren't working in our business or life, because I truly believe that your personal life rolls over into your business, it's because we don't understand. When things aren't working, when we have lack, the generations want everything fast. Yes. And some other generations just aren't willing to put in the work, because understanding also makes you obligated. Understanding also makes you obligated. So some people don't seek to understand because they already recognize that it will require them to do more. Great words. Oh, thank you. Some people won't seek to understand because they know it will require them to do more. But great leaders who win, they seek to understand. And the last one that I was discussing was managing their time. Now, this one right here, I am a consultant. So a lot of the issues that I see when people come to me is how they're managing their time, what they're spending their time on. And when they say they can't get things done, I'm like, yes, you can. I took an ebook course with my coach, Danielle, over the weekend, and I wrote an ebook in 2 days. I wrote an ebook in 2 days. Some are hopeless or doubtful, so they are anxious and rushing. Hopeless. Oh, okay. Hopeless. Yes. Well, that goes back to leaders also have a tendency to hang with other leaders. And that's so important because the mindset, all of it is really mindset. When we're looking to go to, 2 days, I wrote my ebook in 2 days. Danielle is a beast. I am a system person. I've developed so many systems for my salon business when I owned a salon. So working with Danielle really, really works for me because she teaches systems. And so it registers for me. And much of the information had been in me for years. I just needed the system to get it out there. So in 2 days, I wrote my ebook. And actually, it took me probably a total of 3 hours. I just did it over a 2-day time frame because I had other things scheduled as well. And when we're talking about leaders and managing their time, guys, I haven't watched TV since March of last year. I have not watched television since March of last year. And see, some people aren't willing to give up those things, like TV or the time that they're spending with people who aren't going to help take them to the next level. But you have to decide, what's important. You really have to decide what's important. And sometimes it's giving up some of those things we've become routinely accustomed to. You need her breaks. Yes. Yes. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'd like to get everyone's name. A lot of new people in the scope today. I really appreciate it. If I could get your name, and I'm going to do a reset. My name is Tanya Wilson Cherry. I am a business consultant. I teach entrepreneurs how to get to their next level. I help them get unstuck. I specialize in forming systems that are relevant that help take you to the next level. I believe your mind has a lot to do with your money. For the beauty industry, I believe that behind the chair is not their only option. I help people save time and money and create the lifestyle that they desire. Can I get everyone's names in the comments? Can I get everyone's names in the comments? That would be great. Serena, hairstylist in Maryland. Kayla, Etta, Dexter. Okay, nice to meet everyone. Where are you guys located? I'm in North Carolina. Diane. Trainers with Black House. Tired. And I think that a lot of people are tired in their pursuit, but I think a lot of people are tired struggling too. So I think it's just making a definitive decision about, would you rather be tired of struggling, or you want to be tired because you're pursuing a different life, a lifestyle change. It requires it. And once you learn to manage your time, the tiredness, I've done so much this week. I could just run down the list. I've created a class that I'm hosting on June the 6th. I've done all of my automations for the emails for that. I've written a ebook. I've contacted publishers and writers for a new blog that I'm doing. So I've gotten a lot done, but it's because I decided what was most important. And cable TV and reality shows, I have my own reality show, and you guys do too. So you have to decide who's from Brooklyn. You have to decide what's most important. So those are 9 things. I'll run down the list. They have a keen vision. 9 things that leaders do to win. Are you in the next ebook class? They have a keen vision. They face adversity. They go ahead and face it head on. They move from dead situations quickly. They have a high level of discernment. 3, they reach monumental stages and levels because of their keen sense of vision. They break their tasks down into smaller goals that are obtainable. They know their strengths are in the things that they take in, whether it's their food or the people that they are around. For each new level that my life has gone to, my life and my business, my circle has changed. My circle has changed. One of the things, integrity. One of the things I taught, I can be worried about Josina, excuse me, the letter, okay. One of the things I taught in one of my classes was, just sit down, really sit down and take inventory on the 5 people you spend the most time with. I can't answer that question for you, but you can. Sit down and take an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and then ask yourself, look at their lifestyle and determine whether or not that's how you'd like for your life to be. So leaders have a great sense of who they're around. They attract like minds. They seek to understand. They're aware that they need rest, and they manage their time. They're aware that they need rest, and they manage their time. Guys, I'd like to invite you all to my next class. It's on June the 6th. It's called Level Up. It's for those of you who are exhausted, struggling, or just need some direction on which way to go in your business. Because I think a lot of us will go on to partake in a lot of different strategies that don't fit our particular business. So that class is actually about awareness. I'll list 10 things that every business owner needs to know in today's time in order to go to the next level. I'll also include marketing and technology resources that they can use to get to the next level. They'll lead with a vision statement and a mission statement. And a vision statement is so important because your vision is where you plan on being. Your vision is where you plan on being. And if you don't know where you're going, it's easy to get lost. If you don't know where you're going, it's easy to get lost. So the class is called Level Up. The link to that class is bit.ly/levelupc. bit.ly/levelupc. How many of you have had to change who you are next to as you're moving to go to the next level? How many of you have experienced having to change who you're next to in order to go to the next level? bit.ly/levelupc. Yes, thank you for scribing for me, Altavisa. I appreciate that. How many of you have had to change your circle? Yes, change your circle. It's so important, and we want to hold on to people. We want to hold on to people because we love them and we want them to go with us, but some people just are not ready. When you're in toxic situations like that, it's draining. There are too many things on your list of things to do in order to go to the next level that won't allow you the room for the exhaustion that toxic people give you. Gift of goodbye. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. And we don't say that in a disheartening manner, but you got to decide what's most important. You have to decide what's most important. I know when I went through a time where I was just really looking at the people who I was around, negative Nancy's, nobody believing in a dream, I stayed stuck for quite some time because, yes, it was wasteful of your most precious resources and attention. Absolutely. I wasted time because I was waiting on certain people to support me. And I realized that, it wasn't their dream. It was not their dream. And so I had to find it within myself just to have the courage and the strength to move past those situations that were draining me. I can't explain to you all how much exhaustion from toxic people holds you back. Exhaustion from toxic people holds you back. Thank you guys so much for listening in to my 9 reasons leaders win and how you can too. I hope that you'll share it with your followers. If you heard some information that you like, share it on Twitter, or you can actually copy the link and share it anywhere. Tap the screen for hearts. And I appreciate all the love. Thank you, Danielle, for stepping in. You guys check Danielle out. She is amazing. I will be with her in Vegas for one of her next classes. And leaders need leaders. Every student needs a teacher, and every teacher needs a leader. If you don't have someone in your life who is helping you to go to the next level, get some help. A lot of people are afraid to get help because they think it'll make them look unwise. But I feel the person that recognizes that they need help and goes to get it is actually the wise individual. I believe your mind has a lot to do with your money. How you think matters. I thank you guys for joining in. Wasteful people try to waste other people's time. Well, they don't value time. So I don't even think they're trying to waste the time intentionally. They just don't have a sense of value for time. They just don't have a sense of value for time. Glory Girl, thank you for joining. Are there any questions that anyone would like to ask before I log off? Any questions? I thank you guys for joining today. I come on Mondays and Wednesdays. Next week, I'm actually doing 7 days. And my scope is about the 7 habits of highly effective people. My question is, do you want to be a millionaire but refuse to act like one? Do you want to be a millionaire but aren't acting like one? We're going to do the 7 days of highly effective people, and it's going to be 7 days. What was the first step you took to, can you repeat that question for me? What was the first step you took to, I didn't catch the last word. To reset? Oh, goodness. Deciding what I wanted my life to look like. I decided what I wanted my life to look like. I owned a salon for about 10 years, a successful salon. However, it did not fit where I wanted to go. So I closed about 2 years ago. I had started my consulting business right before closing. And I needed a lifestyle, one where I could create an income that would work for me while I sleep. And I recognized that working behind the chair, in order for me to accumulate more resources, I would have to go to work more, which made me unavailable for other things. So the first thing I did was I took some time to really sit down and decide what I wanted my life to look like. I decided what I wanted my life to look like. And then I lined up everything that was already transpiring in my life that didn't fit with that. And then I researched and found the information, and then I leveled up and I handled my business. And things are going well. I'm moving progressively. I have no regrets. I love teaching. I'd actually been consulting from behind the chair for free for years. So many businesses in the area that I'd helped. And actually, God laid the word consulting on my heart. And I think that was maybe in 2009. And I ignored it because I wasn't sure what consulting had to do with hair. But a couple years later, I touched bases on consulting again. I studied it and I took some classes, and I realized I had been doing it for free from behind the chair. So the first thing I did to reset was to decide exactly what I wanted my life to look like. I decided what I wanted my life to look like. I'm happier than I've ever been. The second thing I did was I decided that no one else was responsible for my happiness but me. No one else was responsible for my happiness but me. You know, oftentimes we make excuses, sometimes a difficult choice to realize the success you have isn't the success you want. Absolutely. Oh, that's so good. That's so where I was. That's where I was. Mark, thank you for joining. But that's what I did to reset, and I decided that no one else was responsible for my happiness but me. You know, we make excuses sometimes, and we don't feel their excuses because sometimes we pour into people and we have this expectancy for them to give back to us. And sometimes that expectation is unrealistic if you're expecting it from someone who can't do it. That's not in them. They're not able to give back. So I decided that, you know, my happiness. Hi, how are you? Hi, Bombshell. Thanks for joining. I decided that I was responsible for my happiness. Good stuff. Another thing, removing myself from lost years thinking others would get it, but they didn't. I mean, it wasn't their vision, for one. It wasn't their life. No matter who it is, whether it's your mom, your spouse, your children, they just aren't responsible for your happiness. You know, relationships are what take us to the next level, but we have to have the ability to discern which relationships are best for the season that we're in. I did a video on decluttering, and a lot of people think that decluttering is only removing paperwork or physical items, but sometimes it's people. Sometimes decluttering is people. And for those of you who are really busy and you do a lot of networking and things of that nature, I think it's so important for your business. But some of you are on committees that have nothing to do with where you're headed. And you're still on those committees and those boards because you feel obligated, but it has nothing to do with where you're headed. So decluttering can also be figuring out what's going on in your life that does not line up with where you're heading. Does not line up with where you're heading. You are so welcome. I thank you guys for joining. Are there any other questions? Wasting time and energy creating no growth. Absolutely. You know, the class that I'm doing called Level Up is an awareness class. It's actually virtual. You'll see me and I'll see you. And I can see you do the work in class, because I think a lot of people are making plans, but they're unaware on which plans to make in order to go to the next level for their individual lives. So that class is going to be a major resource on clarity and awareness for your next level. I mean, I see a lot of people making plans, but it really does not line up with where they want to go. The class is $10. It's extremely low. I won't offer it at that price again. But I did it because I want everyone to be able to afford, just to find some clarity so that you'll know what to plan. You know, one of the reasons that we don't go further is because we don't have a plan, but some of us aren't quite sure what to plan. Some of us aren't quite sure what to plan. What's the link again? It's bit.ly/LY Level Up C. It's June the 6th. It's virtual. It's from your home. June the 6th at 8:30. June the 6th at 8:30. It's Level Up C. No, it's bit.ly/Level Up C. bit.ly/Level Up C. And it's right from your home. It's 8:30. The class is only $10. I will not offer this class at this price again. I know I won't. The class is invaluable because clarity is what you need to go to the next level. And we're going to talk about those things in class. I'll give you a list of things. You'll be able to line up how they work for you in your life. What's the missing link for you to go to your next level? So it's called Level Up, which is what I had to do when it was time for a lifestyle change for me. I had to level up. Hi, Blessed. How are you? Thank you for joining. We were actually ending up the scope. For those of you who are just joining, please catch the replay. Share with your followers if you found some information that touched your heart or moved you in any way. Tap the screen and share with your followers. Are there any more questions before I log off? I thank you guys so much for logging in today. I'll be back in on Monday. On Mondays, I scope on Salon Biz. On Mondays, I scope on Salon Biz. I'll be creating tools. I'm going to invest in your class. Great. I would love to have you. Would love to have you. Awesome scope. Thank you so much. I enjoyed you guys. I enjoyed you guys. How many of you feel like clarity is actually what you need in order to move to the next level? How many of you feel like clarity is like maybe the missing link for you to go to the next level? All thanks, Strands by Integrity. Me. Yeah. I mean, we're making plans, but we aren't clear on which plans to make based on our individual vision. Based on our individual vision. Read, guys. Read books. Take classes. Get help. That's how you get to the next level. That is how you get to the next level. Mind needs clearing. Oh, we're going to talk about those things. Because most people are tired and exhausted from doing the same things over and over and receiving the same results. And, you know, people call that insanity, but it's because we're using the exact same steps over and over again. And sometimes we just need clarity. Like, okay, this really isn't working. Like, I know this is my routine. I know I'm busy, but am I busy profiting? Am I busy profiting or prospering in my life? That's the main question. So I hope you guys will join me June 6th, 8:30 p.m. bit.ly/LY Level Up C. Yep, clarity. We need clarity. And there's a point where when someone asked me how did I reset, I had to really get honest with myself. I had to get honest with myself. Awesome. Yes, I had to get honest with myself. So that's the next step to leveling up is to find clarity. And clarity is sometimes just asking the right questions. But I'm going to give you all who are entrepreneurs some marketing resources and technology resources in the class as well. Because some of you are at different levels and will need different information. So I'll provide that in the class. We'll also do question and answer. So if you have some questions about where you're at in your business, I can help you with it, or I can guide you to the correct resources to get to the next level. I want us all to get to the next level. Many of us are stuck on what's happening in our life now, and it's not working, and we've just kind of settled. So thanks, guys, for joining. I appreciate it. Peace.